Next speaker is James Patrick Jordan. He's with AFGJ, and he has also been involved in a long struggle to defend the working people, the people of Venezuela, and also to challenge the role of the AFL-CIO in Venezuela.
Have some real gains. I guess I should start by calling attention to the giant who is not here, and that is Fred Hurst, who was a mentor to so many of us in this work. And when one thinks about him, his lifetime, starting back in the early and mid 70s, calling attention to the activity of the A field in the overthrow of Pinochet, and casting light on the days when the days of the AFL-CIA, when these different institutes were fronts for AFL or for CIA involvement around the world. When one thinks about from there to today, we do see some gains. We saw the closure of those institutes. Of course, the first Solidarity Center president was Harry Cambaris, and he was a holdover from the old institute days. He came from the South Pacific and definitely has a bloody record, behind his name, even before he arrived at the Solidarity Center. But it was in 2005, of course, when Fred and Dave Welsh authored this Build Unity and Trust Among Workers Worldwide. And that got passed by the South Bay Labor Council, and then unanimously by the California Labor Council, and then by some other labor federations and councils around the country. And we took a campaign to the AFL-CIO convention to that year. That was an important year. It's also the year of the U.S. law resolution against the Iraq War. The first time labor took a stand against, that was opposed to U.S. policy and international relationships. But anyway, we've had some gains. After the 2005 convention, Canberra stepped down. I can't help but believe that our work was part of that, part of the reason. And we reached out to an audience that was much larger than than this movement had had for a while. And they say that there's an openness in labor today that didn't exist then, to actually hear us out and the things that we had to say. So we've made some gains, but it's not over. We haven't won this battle by any means. I mean, we're talking about the 2002 situation there in Venezuela and the attempted coup. After that, there was Solidarity Center involvement in Haiti, or in some ways lack of involvement in the 2004 coup. During that time, the International Republican Institute orchestrated a coup against President Aristide and the legitimate government of Haiti. And while the largest union in Haiti was being, their leaders and members were being killed, were being massacred, while they were so much in hiding, the only money the Solidarity Center gave was to a small ultra-leftist union that, rather than defend the democratic will of the Haitian people, was in the midst of the coup calling for Aristide to step down. There's more to that story too. I'll have to write another article. And later on, after the coup, after a few years, the union that had been ignored actually got funded by the Solidarity Center. They just went in there with a boatload of cash, and the trajectory of that union afterwards, which had previously supported Aristide and Lavalas, was that it turned against Lavalas. Its leader of the he became a member of the electoral council under Preval that outlawed Lavalas participation. And today I can't find that union even exists. So that's what happens, I guess, when you switch sides and decide to take their money. But anyway, nevertheless, the Solidarity Center has been involved in some very good things. I think since 2005, it's been harder for them to do some of the things that they do in the shadows. I remember in 2009 during the coup in Honduras, I was trying to look up something to see. I figured they're probably supporting the coup somehow, and everything I found was defending the Honduran democracy against the coup. I didn't study it too much, but everything I found was like that. But I think we have to remember that we have to change the system. We have to keep winning these victories, because even the good work that might be carried on in the name of the Solidarity Center, it's often problematic because it tries to depoliticize the unions that it supports, even in the good work. But it's also becomes a cover for the bad work. And there is, excuse me, there is still no transparency. We don't really know what they're doing, whether it's good work or bad work. When it comes right down to it, there's no transparency. And what we are finding out in Venezuela and in Colombia is that they are back at it again, and that they never have stopped doing what they're doing. Shortly before the 2002, they moved to their office to Bogota. Well, they have some of the same people. Rhett Dumet, longtime employee there, or the main functionary there. I assume he's still there. He definitely was a few years ago, but you'll see it's hard to actually find out much about what they're doing. If you're a unionist and you want to go visit the Solidarity Center in Bogota, good luck finding it. Good luck finding anybody who'll give you an address or a phone number if you really want to go do some research. But in Colombia, they've continued to work with the right wing of the labor movement, which works with Juan Guaido and so on, who have supported so many interventions and coup attempts. And in Colombia, or that's what they've done in Venezuela. In Colombia, they have met with the embassy, for instance, to talk about how to start a new labor federation that would support a U.S.-Colombia free trade agreement. So that office is still in business. Again, William, last year they received another $975,000 for their activities, and for what? Nobody knows. And that's what I want to do real quickly. I want to share the screen because I just want to give a quick lesson how to research the Solidarity Center's activities in Venezuela, aka how to dive into a pit of absurdity. Okay, so here we'll go. Let's start. The first thing we do is we want to go to solidaritycenter.org. So as soon as we get there, before we can even get this thing, we get this anonymous donor who says that he stands with Solidarity Center. I stand with workers, da, 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 da. And it says that the Solidarity Center exists because people like you believe in worker rights, that believe worker rights are human rights. And they want you to, say that you stand with them, give them some money. But of course, the actual fact is Solidarity Center is like 95% more funded by the U.S. government and receives very little in the way of contributions from union members or unions. I mean, it's an illusion that they're presenting right when you go there, that the Solidarity Center represents workers, and it doesn't. Okay, so let's go down here. We want to find out about what they're up to in Venezuela. Well, it's great. They got the information right up there. Let's go to the horse's mouth. Okay, so we go there to where we work. We go down here to Americas. We get over here and we jump down there to, so I'm having some, okay, maybe I may need to make this a little bigger. And if not, I got it. Okay, here we go. So we go here again, once more. We go to the Americas. We get down here to Venezuela. And could you tell me about some of those grants? Is there something about the grants, about how much money they spend? I don't think so. I think that what we're seeing rather instead is, let me get back on there. It's just some vague things about how they, work with a broad range of centers and unaffiliated organizations to improve workers' rights. It's a bunch of gobbledygook. It says nothing. There's no meat there, no meat whatsoever. So let's just forget about that. We're not going to find out much. It seems that when we went to the horse's mouth, we ran into an ass burrowing itself in the shadows and stubbornly refusing to come out in the light. So here we go to ned.org. Let's see what we can find out over here. William already told you about what you're going to find out. Let's click on regions, okay? Click on regions, go down here to where we work.
I think you need to share that screen with that. We are not seeing any.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get on here again. Here we go.
You may want to share your screen again. Yeah.
Yes,
there you go. Yes.
Okay. So here we go. We click over there. This is to the regions part. Their regions. Go over here where we work. Let's go over here. Latin America and the Caribbean. Let's go over here. Let's get over here. Go to. I already did this. Okay. So let me just tell you, don't even go to Venezuela. There's nothing there for the solidarity from Venezuela, just under the name Venezuela. You gotta go to the Latin America, the Caribbean thing. And then over here, what you're gonna see is you're gonna reach down here and just look. Solidarity Center, 975,000. Trade union strengthening in Peru and Ecuador. Who are they working with? Where's that money going? I went to the horse's ass. Well, yeah, I guess I went to the horse's mouth and I found an ass. I'm not finding anything else here, We go down here, Solidarity Center, 975,000, promoting fundamental labor rights in Colombia and Venezuela. With whom? What? Will somebody tell me what they're doing, There's this other thing, here, leadership and movement building program. They're working with diverse transnational unions and CSO leaders. Anybody know what a CSO is? I had to look it up. I thought it's like did Nash quit CSN? Anyway, CSO, civilian society organization leaders, but who? There's nothing there. Here, I'm going to stop the share and just, I'll just do it here. We know, for instance, that Rhett Dumet has been working at that office since 2002. Again, I don't know, maybe retired in the last year or two. I really don't know, but he's been working there. But Solidarity Center people normally get shifted around every 4 or 5 years, but he's been there a long time. So he's a good, let's just say, okay, what's he up to? Let's type in his name. It's a weird, well, not weird, a perfectly good name. It's unique. It's a unique name. So there's probably 357 results. Well, there's something from MLT Today, and I happen to know that this is a reprint of an article we did about AFGJ. So you can find everything we know right there, which isn't much. We had to dig around. But then it's just it's more vague stuff. There's not really a lot about what they do in Colombia, over and over again. Colombia, you see that because they do defend real struggles, and they do defend real people in Colombia that need defending. Other aspects are problematic, but you're just not going to find anything about Venezuela. So I'm going to stop sharing, okay? And I just want to say, that's the whole point of my presentation, is we have a right to know, and they aren't telling us. You can dig deeper, you can dig deeper, and you can dig deeper. But, it's going to take a FOIA request to get something with a bunch of black lines on it. We have a right to know. This isn't funded by us, and it's time for it to end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James, for your excellent report. And we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? I would make a comment. I think it's important, and that is that Indeed, there is independent labor activity in Colombia. You have workers there who have been encamping outside the U.S. Embassy in Colombia, in Bogota. And these are injured GM workers who are demanding that General Motors pay them compensation for their injuries. And they've been out in front of the embassy there for years. There's been no report from Solidarity Center about these workers who are demanding that General Motors take care of their health and safety and their illnesses. So I think that's a concrete example that this Solidarity Center and the millions and millions of dollars they're getting are not really defending the workers in Colombia who are actually outside the embassy in Bogota. So it tells you who they are representing.